Hey everybody, today I'm going to show you how to use the Canvas Gradebook. So first thing, of course, if I'm in my class, or in this case, I'm in my workroom, I would just click on Grades to see my gradebook. Now here you can see this is just the general setup. Yours, of course, depending upon your school district, may be a little bit different. This is mine for my district, just the basic setup here. And you'll see that I have some assignments, I have some submissions here, student submissions, although they're fake students. And I'm going to change my gradebook a little bit to please the way that I like to be organized. So I'm just going to go over to Gradebook. Actually, that's wrong. I'm going to go over to View, and I get these options to arrange by. So now I can arrange by the default order. I can arrange my assignments by name alphabetically, starting with A to Z, or in reverse, Z to A. I can do it by the due date, oldest to newest, or newest to oldest. I can do it by points, so we can organize it lowest to highest, or highest to lowest, or by module, which is first to last or last to first. I prefer to do it by module. I just think that that's easiest for my brain. But then also you'll see here we have some filters. So we can add the assignment group. So let's say I have, assignments or important assignments, or I create other groups like, let's say if you're science, you have a lab section, or maybe you're elementary and it's like the different subjects for reading, writing, math, etc. That's another option or way you can organize your gradebook. And then also you can select the module. So now here in this drop down, in this drop down menu, I can select only those modules to view within my gradebook, which is a really nice thing because it kind of shortens up this page, because as you can see, I can scroll back and forth here, but once it gets really long, it can be a little pain in the butt to move all the way and try to like organize and find the assignment. Another view filter is student groups. Okay, so I can click here, and then you'll actually see that I can have my groups that I've created. So if I have a group project, I can actually organize the gradebook that way. So I can click on each group, and then it'll come up with those group members within that group only. Also, if you have, like I said before, if you have sections, that's another way to see that. So actually, let me give you a look at what my current class gradebook looks like. Okay, so this is a bigger example, and you see I have my students kind of hidden over here, but I have all of my groups. So our school actually does things formative and summative, so that are those things. So summative is actually worth 85% of the grade, and then their formative assignments are 15. So that's kind of how I keep track of things that way. And then your sections, like I said, so I can just look at period 1, I could just look at period 2 within the gradebook, or I can look at period 3. Okay. Also then I can get into like the different modules again. So really helps me break down my grading and see, for let's just say module 1, lesson 1, I have some things that I need to grade here. So I can even click on the assignment here, and it takes me directly to the assignment. I can also click on the 3 dots, and I can sort the grades by like high to low, missing or late. I can click on the speed grader from here. So it's a really great way to view what I haven't graded yet, and then click on the speed grader, and then it would take me to the actual assignment here. Okay, so then also we can do this is really cool. So message students who haven't submit the assignment yet, or haven't been graded, or scored less than, let's say like a 50%, or scored more than. Maybe you want to give them a shout out and say, good job. So like maybe it's a project coming up and nothing's been submitted yet. So you're going to say, This is a notification message to remind you that you have not submitted your assignment. And then from here, I would click send, and I'm not going to do that this time, just because I don't want to message this assignment isn't due yet, so I'm not going to do that. But there you go. So that's just an example. And then enter grades as points, percentages, so you can see that. And then grade posting policy, so you can do automatically, so assignment grades will be visible to students as soon as they are entered, or manual, which is grades will be hidden by default. Any grades that have already been posted will remain visible. You choose when to post those grades, and I just leave it as automatic because for me that's just a little easier. All right, let's return back to the other course. So we're back in the previous gradebook here, and you'll see that I have some assignments right here. But also within the gradebook, I have assignments that are unpublished. And I don't really want to see those. They kind of just like get in the way of like what's current and just kind of add clutter to my page. So I'm going to go back to view, and to get rid of them, I'm just going to unclick that check, and then now they are not visible. So the only time they will appear in my gradebook is when I finally publish them, and my students then can see them and be able to complete them that way. Okay, so while I got rid of that unpublished assignment view, I can also, if I want to, select this notes column, and in pops this column for note taking. So let's say I want to send a note about an assignment to Josh. I would say maybe make sure you don't forget to complete all your work. And then I just click save, and then there's a little note that actually gets sent to him and gets placed also into his gradebook when he checks his personal grades on his Canvas side. All right, so I can also, within the gradebook, I can choose to click here and do an individual view, or I can look at the gradebook history. So let's kind of check that out here. So I can click on, type a few letters to start. So let's say I want to see Danielle. I can click on her, and I can search for the grader, which would be me. There we go. And the assignment name, let's just do M1. We'll do this assignment and filter. So then I can see this assignment, gradebook history, and we can see that she got after it was graded, it was a 20 out of 20, and its current score is that. So maybe if I go back and I grade it again, this can give me the opportunity to see the before grade and the after grade. Let's just get rid of this assignment. And I can see everything that this one student has done and what I have also graded for that student as well. Okay, so actions is another thing within the gradebook. So you can either import content or export your grades. All right, so let's kind of check out the little settings icon over here. Okay, so you have a late policy tab and then a grading post policy, which we kind of already saw earlier in my actual course for the automatic post or the manual post. The late policy, we can actually check this box to automatically apply a grade for a missing submission. So if there's missing work, we could say we can auto-generate that to be a 50% if we want to, or we could just say it's a 0, depending upon what you want, or we can just kind of leave that blank. Also, we can do automatic applied deduction to a late submission. So we could say late submission deduction percentage. Let's say I want to do 5% a day. Ooh, they even have an hour. That's a little harsh. Maybe that's more for the university level people there. So you can do that. We can check both of these off. And then we can give a lowest possible grade percentage. Maybe, again, you have like a minimum F at your school, so you can assign it a 50% for that automatic deduction if it's turned in late. And then, of course, you would click update. Mine is not letting me right now because of this, so I'll just do that. And now it will let me update it like so. Okay, let's take a look at the column and see what you can kind of do in there again with the 3 dots. So I can actually curve the grades here and just click curve grades. I can also set a default grade. So let's say I know we all did this together in class, and it's really more so of an activity I wanted them to just do with me and submit. And so I can give everybody 20 points and override any current grades or keep the current grades, and then voila, it says it updated their scores and now they have 20 points each. So like I said, let's see this now. So now we can see the curved grade looks a little different, and so now if I wanted to, I could curve the score and do it that way. It didn't change anything because they got 100%. I can keep the grades as percentages instead of points. Next thing that we can do is when we click here, we can add, so he got 100%, but we can also add these marks. So we can say it was late, we can say it was missing, we could say it was excused, that one student is excused from it. And so that is some option. We can also add a little comment. And then, or we can even from right here, if we want, we can click speed grader, we can click on the assignment, and we can go to the next student that's available. So that's another really cool feature within the gradebook. Also, just so you guys remember within speed grader, I'll show you an example real quick. Let's just go here, and when I click edit, for displaying the grade, I can do points, I can do complete, incomplete, percentages, letter grades, GPA scale, or not for grade. Let's look at complete, incomplete, because I feel like that is a really useful one, especially for some of our elementary teachers. So when we go into speed grader this time, and it says excused, now I can say that this assignment is completed and they get all the points, or it's incomplete. So that's just another way that we can do it, and we can see in the gradebook again here. When I go here, I have a little X, but I can change that to a check to make that a completed assignment. Okay guys, that's just some of the amazing ways that you can use the gradebook. I hope that this helps you. Next, I'll probably have a video on how, especially for my district specifically, how grades transfer from Canvas to whichever grade pass back. We use Infinite Campus, for example, or like Aries, I guess would be another one. I don't really know what they're called. But basically where your grades are actually posted and the kids receive like their report cards. So that'll be kind of my next video. Leave a comment below if you want to see anything else from me or if this helped you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.